This is systematically starting sleeves. I'm going to show you guys a couple different positions that are utilizing sleeve grips in order to stay safe, keep your partner's weight off of you, and attack offensively the whole time. I'm Rachel Ranshaw. I'm a brown belt. I train at Atos HQ here in San Diego, and I'm excited to show you what I have to share. The first thing we're going to cover in this course and this first chapter is all about shallow lasso in the sleeve and how we can use that to maintain really good frames and a good connection to our partner. When we're in this position, I have one foot on the bicep and one foot as this shallow lasso here, making sure my shallow lasso is right on the inside of this delt muscle here. So I have like a nice little pocket for the side of my foot to sit. And then my spider, I want to make sure that it's all the way in the crook of the elbow here, nice and low. I don't want to hyperextend my leg because then he knows exactly how far and how long my leg is here. I want to make sure it's bent and loaded so I can stay more mobile. And then from here too, if he tries to run around, like walk to his left, I can use both of my feet to kind of step on his body and lift my hip and adjust. If he goes the other way, exact same thing. I want to be able to lift my hips and stay really agile here. Another common thing that'll happen here is people will try to back up to clear your connection. And all you have to do is scoot yourself back in. So first thing we're going to do here is threaten the omoplata on the near side arm. When I do that, I'm making sure I'm stepping on this foot on the bicep here, and then I'm unweaving my lasso and lifting my hips super, super high. I want to think about connecting my hips to his armpit, and then I'm dropping down and collapsing my knees on the inside of his shoulder here. And then from here, if he's still standing strong and I can't quite like sit up to turtle to attack the omoplata, bringing my foot inside, under his bicep here, keeping both of my hands on the sleeves, putting my foot on the mat, switching my hips here. Collecting this far arm and extending my leg to finish. So again, I want to make sure when I'm in this position, I'm staying really heavy and like slightly lifting my hips with this foot on the bicep, and then shooting my hips up to catch that omoplata. Here I'm making a really important point to pinch my knees on his shoulder to help break his posture. My leg is coming over and through, switching my hips with this bottom foot here, then immediately collecting this far arm and extending this left leg here to get the finish. One more time all the way through. Cool. So the next thing we're going to do from here is we're going to start attacking our partner's base. It can be hard to actually scissor sweep and off balance with a shallow lasso sometimes. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to pummel my shallow lasso inside right into his armpit, not the foot in the bicep here because that's easier to shuck off. Instead, I'm going to pummel my foot right into his armpit here. From here, I'm going to block by stepping on the front of his knee, pulling, and scissor sweeping here. When I go for this move, I want to make sure that I get like the full arc of the sweep. So I don't want to be threatening the sweep from here. I want to be starting from more or less flat. So I get like a larger range of motion to finish the sweep. From here, pummel my foot inside, making sure I'm square. Then my foot's gonna come out and I'm gonna extend as I pull his sleeve all the way behind me and I come up onto my elbow, looking behind me. Then come up into mount. One more time. You can threaten the scissor sweep with the shallow lasso, but if your partner has a good base, you don't get quite the same amount of extension with the shallow lasso. So in that case, I come here and I get a stronger push. So the next thing we're gonna do from here to start attacking our opponent's base is to go for the shin on our shallow lasso side. From here, I wanna sneak my left foot in front of his ankle, and if I don't have the space right away, I can escape my hip out a little bit. My foot's coming under and hooking right as his ankle. So from here too, I wanna make sure my knee is to the outside of his knee here. From here, I'm gonna keep that pressure with my knee going in and my foot going out to drop his knee, which is gonna expose his arm here. I'm bringing my shin in and then shooting my omoplata here. For shin on shin attacks, you want to make sure that you have a lot of tension with your knee going to the inside, or else you're not gonna get the exact same power here. So I escape my hip out, my foot's coming to the inside of his ankle, but my knee is really doing most of the work by pressing his knee to the inside, and then I'm just picking up his ankle here. And finish. One more really important detail here is if you're fighting somebody who knows that omoplata is coming, they're gonna try to keep their elbow tight when you're starting to come here. So it'll be hard to just rip his arm away from his body, which is why I'm taking my left knee and bringing it in kind of like a knee shield first in order to preserve that space for me to fit into that omoplata. Here. One more time. Let's rotate this way. So I'm here, I'm playing the shallow lasso. I'm gonna escape my hip out, catch the shin, use my knee pressure to drop this. Knee shield. Omoplata. Continuing with these attacks from shin on shin, another great option we have instead of the omoplata is the triangle. The setup is going to be exactly the same, catching our shin on shin, dropping, making sure we knee shield here, and then from here I'm going to shoot up and connect my hips tight, bring the arm across, get my triangle. When I'm adjusting my triangle, I want to make sure that I cut this angle with my back flat on the mat. I don't want to hip escape and leave all of this space here at his neck. I adjust flat on my back, and then I'm locking, making sure to exclude his shoulder. I don't want to lock my triangle and be able to see his ear. Adjust, lock, squeeze and finish. Using this shin on shin to attack this triangle is really great because it drops your opponent's base. So they're already a step behind in order to defend the triangle. Here. Making sure I'm excluding his shoulder, making sure I'm flat on my back here. Let's rotate a little bit here. Escape, catch, knee shield, hips up, arm across, adjust flat on my back, and exclude his shoulder here. The shallow lasso can be a great tool for off balancing and keeping a good frame. So one attack I love to do from here is feeding into this reverse de la Hiva, knee cut style position here, and then threatening to go underneath. To make space for that, I'm gonna open to the outside, and then immediately when he goes to recollect his base, come inside here. Block, and attack that kiss of the dragon back take. Some important details from here is I'm making sure that when I catch here, my foot is right on the connection of his delt and his pec. I don't want it too shallow where it's gonna slip off, but I also don't want it so deep that it's gonna get folded and crushed. So I'm keeping it right And that like divot in the muscles right there. Then from here, opening. And then when I decide to extend my hook and come underneath, I'm making a point to keep his reverse de la Riva hook off the mat this whole time. And take the back. One more time. The stronger of an off balance you can get to your left before going underneath, the lighter the leg you're spinning under is going to be, which means it's going to be even easier to roll underneath. So I'm going to off balance to the outside, come underneath, block, pummel, take the back. One of the most common defenses for that Kiss of the Dragon sweep is them stepping their outside leg close to keep their base strong. So we're going to capitalize on that by attacking that outside leg now. So I'm getting into that same position, step back first, off balancing to the outside, trying to come under. And when he steps that leg so close, I can't really get the same drive, and maybe he can keep his foot on the ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that ankle side hand, underhook this leg, and I'm going to work up on a single leg here. So when I go for this move, I want to make sure, like right now in this reverse de la Riva style position, I'm on my right hip. I'm not flat. So then the same thing, when I switch to reach for that leg, I'm not going flat. I'm switching all the way to my left hip. So I open, I off balance, I underhook. In this moment, I'm still on my right hip. I'm going to switch and press. If I stay flat on my back, this little baby hook isn't going to do enough here. It's just going to fall out. So I'm going from my right hip all the way to my left as I come up right away and finish my single leg. Catch, making sure I'm opening here, here, and single leg.